Hey y'all, I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. So, today I am popping into this group to tell you about some of my favorite tools in business right now. Now, I think that tools can really change your business, and there are some reasons why it's worth the investment because sometimes it takes some time to invest in your business in the way that you are looking for the right applications for you and kind of figuring all of this out. But you guys know that one of my favorite exercises is what's working, what's not working, what's kind of working. And I think that's a great way to set the stage, so to speak, for you to find the right applications for you and your business. So I'm going to share a few of my very favorite ones and tell you why. And then if anybody has any questions, if there's I've probably tried everything in the world. So if you have a question, if there is something you want to ask about, if I've tried it, hit me with those questions. And if you love some of these too, or you have a favorite one, leave them in the comments for other people so they can see what may really work for them and what may not work for them. So I think my favorite app of all time is Acuity, and the reason why I love it so much is because I feel like it is very robust and it's a huge time saver, especially when you've done that exercise and you can kind of see, okay, where do I need to simplify my processes? Like, where am I spending a lot of time, and how can I make this more of a simplified process, not only for me but for my clients, because you can save yourself a ton of time and energy. And also, I think automation with apps like Acuity. So Acuity is a scheduling app, but it's so much more than that. I think automation really helps you be on top of things, because I know, especially being like a mom and trying to work from home, even more so during COVID, like all these kind of things where you want to make sure you're on top of it. You want to be professional, you want to be reliable, but like you may have a kid that gets sick, or you have to take your dog to the vet, or you need a sick day, or just, anything could happen. And so we want to make sure that our process of working with clients always makes them feel secure, that they can trust us, that we're there. And, we want to feel that way too. I know I get a lot of anxiety if I feel like I'm like dropping the ball somewhere or letting someone down. And sometimes it's just harder to juggle everything than it is other days, right? So my Acuity is one of my favorite ones. Acuity is wonderful because, like I said, it's not that expensive. I think it's like $10 or $15 a month, and I love having this automation when it comes to scheduling, because then people can look and see what's the best time to work with you, and you don't have to do emails back and forth. So I mean, that alone is like amazing and wonderful. But one of my favorite features is that you can also set up different categories. So if you sign up for a simple strategy call with me, the URL behind it's going to say /simple. And then I have a questionnaire attached to it. That way I can ask you really specific questions so that when we get on the phone, we can really maximize the 30-minute call. The other ways that I would use that feature is for my podcast. So not only can I have a specific questionnaire, so the podcast, of course, is completely different because I can capture the photo that I use to create the graphics, the person's social media links, their bio, like all of these things are captured within Acuity, and it puts it in my calendar. So when I'm prepping for my interviews, I can go and look and see all that information. I can copy and paste it into another app that I'll share with you, which is ClickUp, for my VA to grab that and create the graphics. Like, it makes it so easy, and I love that. And then it's attached to a different calendar. So unless there's some major conflict, I only record podcasts on Fridays. Fridays are I feel like it's my fun day work day, because I just do like podcast and different kinds of things. I usually try to work a half day so that I like have some time to kind of rest before the kids get home and things like that, right? Sometimes they wear me out on the weekends. Um, and so I like being able to have that with a separate calendar. So if you set up a simple strategy call, there's a certain calendar of available dates attached to that. If you sign up for the podcast, there's a certain calendar and dates that are attached to that. So that way it's all really organized, and it all links in with my Google Calendar. So I would say that I need to, like tomorrow, I have to take the kids to the dentist. We're getting another round of braces, and I have that scheduled in, so it automatically updates all of my calendar and Acuity, so I don't ever have to worry about overlap. Now, every once in a while, for some reason, it will double book me, but generally, my clients are very nice and understanding, and they understand when that happens. But that's only happened a few times, like very seldom, and definitely not enough to make me want to try to set up a whole other system and blah, 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 blah. So the two additional features that you can do with Acuity, which should open your mind to some like interesting ways you can use this in your business, maybe like change up your onboarding process to accommodate some of these things, is that it automatically creates a Zoom link. This feature has saved me so much time because you may think, well, it doesn't take that long to just email someone the link. But if you have to do that like 20 times a week, it can take up a lot of time and then you may make a mistake, right? So this makes that very, very easy for me. So with Acuity, when someone goes in, they are signing up for a time that's attached to my calendar. I never have to update that. They get a questionnaire, so that's all seamless and automated. The Zoom link is also automated, and then you can also have people pay through Acuity. So this is really nice too, especially depending on what kind of business you have. So like maybe you're a Reiki practitioner and people schedule their appointments and they go ahead and pay. So you actually don't have to do anything because they have all the forms they need because you can attach all of that in there. You have all the information that you need. They have scheduled their appointment. They're going to get a reminder for the appointment so you don't have to send reminders to them. They can reschedule if they need to. You can set limitations on how far in advance, or like maybe you don't want someone to either schedule or reschedule an appointment within a certain amount of hours. Like for me, I look at my week the week ahead and I mark it out, like see what I'm doing and schedule my time and all that kind of thing. And I wouldn't want to wake up like this morning and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know how to call, because I've already decided yesterday what was going to happen today. So I have like a 48-hour window where you can't schedule things. And so there's so many ways that you can set it up where it's kind of just foolproof. And I love that. Payment options, I take Stripe and I think maybe PayPal too. But there are just so many different ways that you can set this up and really make it work for you and your business. It will create, if you have, like for me, I have specialty links because people that are doing a simple strategy call are not the same people that are signing up for their weekly coaching session or the same people that are doing their group coaching session. Like these are all different. So I don't really need a page that has all of those different links. But if you were a Reiki practitioner, for example, maybe you have a single session, a group session, and maybe you have like a 30-minute and a 90-minute session, something like that. And so you could have all those on the same page. So it really creates a web page of services where people can pick and say, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. So there's a lot of functionality there, especially if you are newer in your business and you're not ready to invest, like you're not ready to create a big fancy robust website that can do all this for you. Maybe you don't even have your website up yet. This gives you so many options. It easily links in with Squarespace, WordPress. Like it's very, very easy to use, I promise. So Acuity is a great one. Some people don't like it. Well, the complaint that I have a friend that really hates it, but the reason why she hates it is because it doesn't automatically add to your calendar. It sends it to you and you have to click a button and then it will add it to your calendar. And she really, really hates that. So Calendly is another one that a lot of people use. I don't know as much about it, but I know a lot of people in this group actually like Calendly too. So that's another one to check out and just kind of see what works best for you. Pretty much everything is going to have a trial, so you can experiment with that a little bit. So I feel like that is one of the just like things that I cannot live without, is made my business so much easier to use. The second thing that I really, really love right now is ClickUp. So ClickUp is a project management system, and it's another one where it can be really as robust as you would want to. Like if you have a small agency or maybe even a big agency, or you have a team or something in the middle, maybe you're like me. So I used to use Asana. That's one that I've tried, which is really similar to Trello. And the reason why I switched over to ClickUp is because I just needed more functionality, and Asana has zero customer service at all. And I needed to change my email address that was attached to that because it was just getting confusing because I needed to change the email address and I couldn't do that. So I switched over to ClickUp. I tried Monday and a couple other ones. I can't remember. I just like downloaded a bunch of the free trials and kind of looked through everything. And ClickUp was the one that seemed, I guess, the most easily adaptable for me. Like it was familiar enough to Asana, the way that they use boards and they also have a list view. But some of my favorite features about ClickUp are that you can really be specific about who has rights to which thing, which is important to me because it's just kind of an inside. I love hearing how other people run their businesses too, so I'm always happy to share. But on the inside of my business, I have some projects that I manage because I work like in a consultant capacity for a bunch of through an agency for a bunch of nonprofits, and that sounds kind of confusing, but I work for an agency to do marketing and digital strategy for a bunch of nonprofits. So to me, those are all separate clients. Like I have all my contact information, all the stuff I need to know, the project details, like all those kind of things. And I like to organize those in ClickUp. But I wouldn't want that information to be privy to my coaching clients because my coaching clients, we actually use ClickUp to communicate. So I put their coaching sessions in there. I assign them to-dos and tasks that they get that like extra accountability. And we also communicate back and forth inside of ClickUp. So like all of their stuff is in one place. It makes it really easy for me to just go down my list of clients. Like it's client check-in day. That's on my calendar. I do have those client check-in day, and I can go through and look at all the clients, check on my messages every day, reply back to everything everybody needs. It's usually things like they have questions, they want me to look at something, those types of things. It's all in one place. So it's just a little bit more efficient, or it's a lot more efficient than email. And it allows me to stay on top of things. Plus, they really love the to-dos, and so they like that portion of it. But I can be really specific. So even though they're separated in like it's kind of like a folder or a tab, each one of their own accounts is just their account, and they can't see anybody else's stuff, and everybody else can't see theirs. And then I also have my own private stuff in there. So when I am working on content creation, all the things that I do in this group, like everything is all laid out in ClickUp. So it's kind of like I live and breathe in ClickUp every single day. But I love the privacy portion of that. I feel like that is so helpful because some of the other ones, it was kind of iffy and you couldn't get so specific. Like you can get specific where you can share one document with one person. So you may have a group of clients that can see one board, so everything that relates to that project, but then only share one document with someone. Or you can have them read only or write only, kind of like how Google does. So you can either look at a document, you can download it, maybe you can edit it depending on what your permissions are. So that's a feature that I have really used and loved. And then there's another thing that you can do that is really great if you are a designer and you have timelines. So if you are a web designer, for example, then you have a general process of how long it takes you to get a website done and the things that are needed. And when you get A, then B happens, and that affects the timeline. So one of the things that you can do is create the timeline. Like, for example, when I get all of the content, we have our first meeting, then the client has to make a decision and sign off on maybe the Squarespace template that they choose. And then they have to deliver all their content. Like you can put in all the dates and you can assign things to them, but you can also have that timeline where it's set and it'll rotate. So whenever you change the dates, the timeline changes. So you don't have to go in and go, okay, well, I need to add 2 weeks here or a week here or a month here or whatever that is. It'll actually adjust for you. And that is like insanely time consuming and a pretty big feature that not a lot of other content management systems like Asana, for example, doesn't offer something like that. So that is incredibly useful. And another cool thing that you can do is it works sort of in the same way, but you can set up goals where you have markers and accountability and milestones, and it will shift too. So let's say that you set a big goal for yourself and you're like, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. These are my markers. You can set in the to-dos for each step of that to happen. And I'm a visual person and very type A, and so I just love those like weird little details and things like that. So that's definitely getting more, more into it. But I would say it probably took me a couple of weeks to kind of get everything like set up, and then I just had to continue to organize it. And I really loved it. So Acuity for scheduling and setting up my Zoom calls and things like that. And then I really love ClickUp. And then something new that I've been using that's just like a really a neat thing to kind of add into what you're doing is, I'm always talking about how marketing is really about deciding how you want to build relationships. And even though it's good to stretch yourself, it's also good to really play to the things that are your strengths and really also think about your clients and how they want information delivered, what's really working for them. So I use an app called Hello Audio, and I've been using this for my coaching program, Fearless Fundamentals, which I've been talking about a lot this month so far because it opens on May 24th. So let me know if you want some more information about that. But um, every month I have an overview of what the topic is that we're working on because we're working on building foundational elements. So it's a little bit like a course in that we have a structure of stuff that we're doing to make sure that you get the foundational elements that you need for a big business that will scale to 6 figures and more. So then I make sure that they're recorded and the workbook is ready, and I put all that on Hello Audio so that you can get in your car and just listen to it. You can listen to it while you walk. Like they're somewhere around 30 minutes, but I walk through all of those things for you. And also, if I have podcasts or other things that I think will be helpful, I can just add those to Hello Audio so that you get a little extra information on certain topics that you may need. So let's say that I do a mini masterclass about something that really answered someone's question in the group. I can dump that into Hello Audio too, and it's all set up and they have all that stuff. So really, I feel like it's very convenient, but that could also be because I'm a person that loves to listen to podcasts and just like listen to things because I'm always doing the mom train thing where you're like, take a kid somewhere, wait for an hour, take a kid somewhere else, wait for another hour kind of thing. So I love that for myself, but also one of the people that's in this course has about a little over an hour commute to work every day. And so that's made it a lot easier for her too. So that really helps her. And things like that, it's always good to kind of check and see like what's out there, what you can find, but you don't know what to look for if you haven't first assessed kind of what your problems are or what you have that you could make better, what would really make those processes easier. And again, one of my favorite filtering kind of questions is, how can I make this easier? Because when it's easier for you, it's also easier for your clients. And I think everybody appreciates that. And it really gives you an opportunity to customize things in a way that your clients feel like you really understand what their needs are. So Hello Audio is something that I really, really love. It makes it like a podcast. I can deliver content to my people in a way that I feel like is really easy for them. Especially, we've got a 6-month commitment. A lot of the people in Fearless Fundamentals are transitioning from being in a full-time job to doing their own thing. And so I think any bit of ease that I can add to that process and the juggling of things, because we know what it's like to juggle a lot of things, is going to help them get a better result. And so that was the reason why I decided to try out Hello Audio. And it's always good to try things. You can pretty much get something in a free way to look at stuff, and it's good and it's helpful and it's not a waste of time if you know what it is that you're looking for. And so my advice to you on how to pick and how to look for things that are going to meet your needs are really to start with that process of what's working, what's not working, what's kind of working. Because when you do that and you can see where you are losing time, where you're getting frustrated, where communication is breaking down, and you just start asking questions instead of making it wrong. Like, we don't have to make something right or wrong here, but just asking questions like, what could I do to make this easier? Then you'll know what you're looking for and what is going to be the best fit for you. So if you have any questions about any of these, again, it was Acuity for scheduling, but it also sets up my Zoom calls and takes payments. And ClickUp for project management. And then the last one was Hello Audio for delivering some content within my coaching practice to clients directly on their phone. If you have any questions about any of those, let me know. I can answer them. And if I haven't tried some other apps or things like that, I probably have a client who uses it. So let me know what's your favorite app. Like, what are your 3 favorite things that you use to run your business right now? What's really working for you, and let's just share some information so that we can have more time to get outside and enjoy all of this beautiful weather, because summer's almost here and I'm getting a little bit of the sweats thinking about how this is the kids' last week of school. No, it's gonna be a great summer. It really is. So let me know, what are your favorite apps that you're using in your business right now.